All right, well, we are into the draft again. Hopefully this time it does kick off without a hitch. Immortals on A side are 1 point down against TSM in the series. They have a very important pick on their hands and a very important ban to kick things off.
Taking an awful lot of time on this first ban once again. So hopefully this one will stick.
It's pretty curious here. It's a curious situation, knowing that TSM is not favoring this Lyra at all. It puts a big twist on things. Kosh, the first ban.
I can understand banning Koshka against Von C specifically.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing the last couple of games where we've had Koshka kind of run wild.
Wow.
And TSM at Worlds. I mean, they were
they were the ones that started the Koshka
Especially
train.
if you wanted to pick up the Finn is just super slow moving. You can't catch up. Like if someone's trying to run away and Koshka's on that target, if you don't have a pull, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, the Vox does come through this time for Team Solo Mid. Very likely going to be Best Chuck getting his hands on that.
They banned the Ringo, so that's an answer to the laning situation. They don't want Vox to be harassed.
You know, it's interesting. I think these two teams are two that I would expect to really perform in double ban draft. Like, you got Suijay on one side, Flash X on the other.
Those are two of the best draft minds in the game.
I mean, not only that, like what Hot Sauce brings to this team, like he's actually a very critical thinker when it comes to analyzing this game.
Well, Alpha going to be taken off the board. Again, that's definitely a Von C targeted ban there, so really Immortals showing that they want to target that jungle and make sure that Von C isn't on these heroes that he can just... I mean, really, can you target ban out Von C? You could take him off a couple, but there's still so many options from him. The Kestrel is still there. That's where he made his name, was on that Kestrel pick.
Weapon Lyra.
Please no, Samuel.
Ozo's still there, too.
I just... Von C, Samuel...
Ozo, whatever. Anyway, I mean, I was actually thinking when the double ban draft was announced, right? Like, some teams are going to think to themselves, okay, let's head in and let's just punish one player, like for their, shallow hero pool. You can't really do that with Von C, so I'm not sure this is the person I would have targeted for that strategy.
I feel like Flash X may be the best target on TSM 4. It's still not you still can't really target anyone on TSM that much, but Flash X, he's always performed so much better on like the Arden and the Fortress than any of his other captains. The other ones he's still very good on, but those have always kind of been his top two. And so I feel like that may be where, if you're going to go for the targeting one player, but again, it's so tough because their hero pool is so deep.
I like how TSM, and I was going to say Flash, but I don't know if it's conversation with him right now, but I like how TSM has not put an emphasis on the Lyra. They allow it to get through. It works for the draft. They pick it up.
Well, it always just makes me wonder when I see it. Is it going to be Von C? Is it going to be in the jungle? Is it going to be weapon power? I hope yes.
You could say that with almost any pick, I guess.
I mean, you could, but here you'd have a reason to.
I just remember all of last season, like when Von C was doing the weapon Samuel and when he pulled out the weapon Lyra, like did all these wacky picks. Every single time I was casting one of his games, he'd just be in the pregame lobby chat, just like, "Are you ready, Tasty Bacon? Are you ready?" Just like taunting me with these picks that he knew I just hated to see because I hated seeing them work.
Well, I love to see the Baron into the Vox. I think it does pretty well. You have to get to the late game.
Or be tough
at least into the early game. Yeah, I mean, it can be tough. Bright Bulwark's going to be very important. I expect Flash to be waiting for him to jump jet forward where you can go ahead and shut that down. But the Baron will deal with Vox if he's not shut down early.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Baron deals with pretty much anything if he's not shut down early.
But specifically, these are the popular weapon laners, right? And when Ringo's banned out, Vox is picked up, Baron is a very good go-to.
Yep, Gwen is really the only other weapon lane option that we see terribly frequently, so... not all surprising to see the Baron, but there's going to be the Kestrel pulling that away from Von C, perhaps.
I like that.
I like this.
Yeah,
I think it makes a lot of sense. You've got a lot of range on your team with the Baron. Also, you're kind of saying to Lyra, hey, Arcane Passage in. You need to engage, right?
Plus, again, Finn Kestrel, that combo.
That's the combo. And yeah, Vox is pretty mobile. When one Glimmer shot comes out, he's probably kind of Sonic Zoom, but then you expect the Kestrel to know that and be throwing out a Glimmer forward there. Taka is the last pick.
This is an old school pick for Von C, like all the way back to the first autumn season, like before it was even an actual like season necessarily. Von C on the team Von Menace was actually just played Taka almost every single game, no matter what the composition was, and just destroyed people with it. So It's kind of always been Von C and I Love Joseph in a Taka battle, so maybe getting him back on this old school pick for him, see if he does some magic.
I am curious. I mean, this is definitely an interesting composition. Are we going to see another Crystal Power Vox, perhaps, with the weapon Taka, or is it going to be Crystal Taka?
I'm thinking Crystal Taka for Von C.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning
It
towards.
does feel like kind of his style, right? Just go in like a nuclear missile and blow someone up.
I mean, you could say, like, with a Finn, typically, you know, teams tend to clump up, and that's where you'd see a CP Vox kind of excel. But Baron will fight around the edges of fights. He's pretty mobile. And then you never know where the Kestrel is going to be in and around these fights. But I think a key to victory here, though, for Immortals is Kestrel having a decent, like, first 6 minutes in this game. Like, she can't get shut down. If if Von C gets in the jungle and just starts rolling through, stealing some camps, it's going to get real tough real quick.
All right, well, we are onto the fold, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the last game of the day between Immortals and Team Solomid. Team Solomid are 1 game up in the series. Let's pass it on over to Dalsey and Forecourt Jester.
Man, I was praying that we weren't going to see a weapon power Lyra for Von C there. I felt Tasty Bacon's pain on the desk, but it is going to be this Taka for Von C. Very interesting pick. We've seen it a lot tonight in both EU and NA to some good success. Seems like the buff to him in 2.2 has really helped his power.
Well, Von C, they said this, right? You can't ban him out, right? There's just so many options he could have went right there. And TSM getting that early invade in, Flash X and Chuck. Yeah, and there's nobody up in lane.
It's so strange. So Flash X is jungling Immortals jungle. He's taking the Elder Treant as well, whilst Dienzio just gets to free farm on the Baron. This is a really interesting start for TSM. They've obviously just, you know, with whatever happened in game 1, we don't know. We know the draft, we know that TSM won it 1-0. They feel very comfortable that they can just invade Immortals straight up.
Well, they honestly don't lose much. Dienzio's up to 3 last hits, and Best Chuck picking up jungle. I mean, he's right there with him. You don't sacrifice much with that kind of comp, especially
and
if it goes
2.
uncontested. Yeah,
he's
also
level 2.
That's a big
almost,
deal.
He's over half a level ahead of Dienzio. Dienzio's not even hit level 2 yet, and Best Chuck will be halfway through the point. Wow, what a crazy strat from TSM, and with a Lyra in lane to just poke out this Baron, there's almost nothing Dienzio can do.
Oh, the poke is absolutely right there. Look at Flash X just getting off those hits, throwing down the books, and Best Chuck with the resonant, even getting some direct hits. Dienzio is now way frail. He has to play close, and he's still taking flak.
Wow, incredible stuff. He's going to have to back here. There's no way he sits around. They bring up Aloha to push TSM back. That will be Dienzio heading back to the base, but they have to respect the fact that Von C's on Taka. If he was to come up to the lane, then that's a very dead Baron. Currently just taking this Elder Treant, should go uncontested here. They know Glimmer Shots to steal it away, but he is looking to try and sneak up onto Aloha. Will be spotted out by that scout trap there. They know he's in possession. Nothing Von C can do.
Now, this is the first time today in NA that we actually get to see on camera here a Crystal Kestrel. We've seen a weapon, it fell flat, then Kestrel just kind of either got banned out or wasn't even really part of the consideration. But this jungle Kestrel with Crystal, it can absolutely change some of these team fights. Your one hit, a shot, one kill, it's going to hit hard. The splash damage from the Glimmer Shots alone, like if you get people all nice and tight and packed up and you get some Glimmer Shots, you can really do some damage. So there's a lot of big 1-2 punch going on between Dienzio and Aloha. That's the weapon, that's the Crystal, and that's some really big offloading of damage.
Certainly is, and for anyone who's been sleeping under a rock for the last couple of months, or just month even, you'll recognize a lot of these names on the Immortals lineup. Yes, this is the old Hammer's Velocity lineup that has butted heads with TSM night in and night out at every final stage of a tournament. It's of Hammer's Velocity and TSM, so they'll be continuing on their rivalry under a new flagship of Immortals here. And currently TSM are starting this off. Their game 1 is up. We had to start it early due to the fact that we're a little bit behind schedule. Didn't want to keep the players waiting. And now for TSM, they're looking to take this game 2 and progress to tomorrow's games.
Yeah, this would actually be the second best of 3 that actually goes the whole distance here for NA. We had 2 0s, and then we were able to break the mold there in our last series. This could be, you know, the second way to go all the way. And if it's any 2 rosters to go all the way, these are the 2 that, as you said, they butt heads the most. This would be really the one that goes the distance.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping it does as well. I don't want to miss out on any action here myself.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, Breaking Point, Fountain, purchased up.
Yeah, Fountain at the 4-minute mark, that seems to be pretty clockwork here. I said that at the very beginning of the night, but Best Chuck just immediately getting into that first item. Like, Dienzio doesn't have the cash to go into that Sorrow Blade. Granted, Breaking Point's a little bit cheaper, but Vonsi as well is into his crown.
Yeah, and he's just looking to make the pain rain. Level 6 already, so X-Retsu's to come down on Dienzio's face. If he oversteps the mark, you can see Vayne just hugging his Baron here, making sure he stands on top of the model, try and body block any spell that could possibly be clicked onto the Baron. Polite companies to fortify help the lot.
Alright, one-shot spam is going to be starting up here as Aloha gets into hopefully a little bit of cooldown reduction later on. That's just going to be hitting again and again and again.
Against
but
Elira?
for now, yeah, for now, it's okay with Elira. She'll just heal it up.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, every time he's going to throw out a one-shot, it's not going to have much power. But look at this. They're diving straight on in, and there's nowhere that Aloha can do. First blood, it goes in favor of Best Chuck. Great rotation from TSM as a 3. Make it down onto this Kestrel, and they get the Crystal Sentry as well.
Oh, this is just, like, unfortunate timing for Dienzio. Just needs a little bit more if he wants to pick up that Sorrow. And, yeah, you can see if he's turning back around. He's like, all right, there it is. Just needed to kind of stick around in lane a little bit longer because nobody's out in lane. The turret's gone down. TSM took huge advantage of the lack of presence.
Wow, great rotations from TSM, but questionable map movements from Immortals there. There should have been someone in lane to defend the turret after they lost their jungle Aloha, who was not going to be in position to do anything. Another one-shot flies out, doesn't quite connect. Not even sure it got vision on anyone either. So
I think it hit the gold miner.
Hit the gold miner? There you go.
I think so. I didn't get to catch the whole trace. It definitely went through him, if not just stopped at him.
So far, so good for TSM. Almost like Immortals aren't even playing this game right now.
It feels a little lackluster. Coming in, we're hyping these teams up. It's like, yeah, these guys will go head-to-head, but this is a new Vainglory. This is a very different just game than the World Finals, than the last Evil 8 split, right? So I know that they've been practicing. I know that these guys, big legends of their name, but TSM just so far seems so comfortable.
Yeah, straight onto Dienzio there. Vonsi laying down the hurt, down to half HP, and that's just one combo, not even a full barrage. Now, of course, Immortals, they're playing this Baron. They need to scale up. It's the same story that Gangstar Sirius had in Game 2, where they were able to come back. It was just one outplay that cost them the game from Chicken 1-2-3. And so, there's always hope. It's not over yet. But it's a hard road to get to. One shot, one connect with Vonsi. They're fighting over this Crystal Sentry, but it does look like it's just going to go down. Immortals are allowing TSM to take it away. They really do not want to fight.
One life left. The one shot, even if that had hit, like, just the treant that Vonsi was on, it was just miles away from Vonsi at that point. And that Storm Crown is starting to really pay off in spades. That's a one monocle. 38 minutes. We're looking at Vonsi picking up an Aftershock. There it is. He is just rolling in the dough.
Wow.
And we're looking at 4,000 gold plus. Flash looking to get some vision down. They are really limiting Immortals and what they can do.
Let's see if Best Chuck and A can finish his second monocle before 12 minutes. He's got 4 minutes to do it. If he does, he beats Old School in that dominant game from Cloud9. At the beginning of the night, it seems like a century ago. That's how much action we've had tonight. Forced a chord, it misses Flash X. And so he's just going to walk away. He holds onto his Crucible as well. And didn't even bother pressing the button.
Well, my game's taking a break, so it's all you now, Dazzy.
No worries, and currently it doesn't look good as TSM is diving once more, but Vonsi under the turret, he's going to get bursted down. Can he escape? Mountain's going through, wait for it, silences everyone from Immortals, and that will be the disengage of the fight. Oh no, the poor Crystal Sentry making his way back into the jungle, and he's being escorted by Immortals. They do not want to allow him to fall. Vonsi, he's going to make his escape path, and one shot won't connect, dodges it up with his jump. That is going to be the Crystal Sentry, successfully saved by Immortals.
Well, that's a feather in their cap, I'll tell you, because he's on his last legs, man.
It definitely is, and we hit the 9-minute mark now at forecourt, and Immortals, they're continuing this trend. They're just wanting to scale up. They've got a Sorrow Blade on Dienzio, almost that breaking point as well. It's constant minion candy buys from Vanes to try and pause the game up. And actually, we are going to get a pause, which will help you for court.
I came back into a pause.
Oh, you came back into a pause. Okay,
yeah.
So it was your fault. We're going to blame you.
Clearly. Yeah, it's like, oh, caster down. No, they don't give us that benefit. That's only for the players, and rightly so. And, it's really more of a focus there for the players. But I did see just before the pause that Vanes has picked up another set of minion candy. So they are really just going to try to force feed this Crystal Sentry to make sure that he doesn't drive, because that's a big deal. Like, if he goes down pre 10 minutes and this game goes on another 10 minutes, I mean that's a safety net gone from that jungle.
And that's kind of how Gangstars managed to stall out their game for so long, was constant minion candy buys, just allowing Araki Zoro to start farming up to try and hit that spot. Now, we're a long way away from Araki Zoro hitting that 3-item spike, the Sorrow Blade, the breaking point, the monocle. He hasn't even finished his breaking point yet. Has 360 gold in the bank, so that tells you that he's, another 500 away from finishing that item. And then he has to build the monocle. It's going to be a long haul if Immortals want to get back into this game.
I mean, Araki's good, but Best Chuck is no joke when it comes to this lane, man. Like, he has joined at TSM. I was personally skeptical back last year, about June, when he joined this crew, because he was replacing Mixi and Koldamik, and those guys were becoming just massive legends, right? But Best Chuck has really just performed absolutely spectacular. Throughout the year, he kept improving. Then into this, TSM, they don't change rosters. Amongst giant acquisitions going down, they don't change rosters. Sure, they got some subs on the roster, but these three starters are still here to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And, currently they're putting a good case for it as well. If they take down their old school rivals in dominating fashion, then they're setting a message up that they're not to be messed with. I can't wait to see what happens in day 2. If TSM does make it through. We haven't made it that point. This is game 2, TSM 1-0, trying to find confirmation as to what the pause is. But, the players can only use the pause in a case of emergency. And in fact, we're going to get the unpause come through as well. So it has to be justified. It means that someone can physically not play their game anymore. And that's the reason. So you know that every time a pause comes through, it's for a good reason.
All right, so the pause is now resumed for you as well, sir, yes?
It has.
Awesome, great. So we're good in that regard. You can see the minion McCandy on the Crystal Sentry, but TSM, they're looking for blood.
Missing on out. Yeah, they are looking blood. Immortals wanted that fight. They were trying to catch someone out here, try and catch maybe Flash X out or Chuck NA. They're going for this gold mine. Iron Cannon's going to be straight on top of it. It might get stolen. No, it's secured by TSM, and now they're looking for the fight. Vane's so low. They're trying to get onto a Aloha. Best Chuck. He's just going to take down Dienzio in the back line. Now it's going to be Vanes. It's a double kill for this Tucker. And the last life of the Crystal Sentry. Candy will not keep him alive.
Fun C is shredding down the competition. Best Chuck, he's no joke at this point, right? Those crits, that is phenomenal. Wow. But the rate that the health just disappears?
4? Oh, that's 4 objectives, 3 kills in the space of, a minute.
In game 2 for the final game, yeah, it's
insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's the final series. Could not actually.
He's got to finish his monocles now. Walks back.
That's 11-minute monocle.
Insane stuff. That is such a crazy gold lead. It's 10,000 gold at 10 minutes, 1,000 per minute, and only 4 kills. That's the huge thing for Court. The gold lead here for TSM is purely objective based.
Yeah, they've been on top of it from minute 1. They invaded jungle, and they've just kept up the pressure since. And with double monocle here, Best Chuck, he can see clearly now, and in victory, that is what he sees. We are just snowballing 10,000 gold between them, Dowsy. This is a new high today for NA.
Wow, I just feel like singing. It's like, I can see clearly now with
that's
my
exactly right, my
monocle.
friend.
Da-da-da. Yep. I can slay all my enemies in my way.
Now, I know that Excoundrel's been doing rap videos, and I know that he's bringing that forward, but I think you could have a good singing career to complement it here, Dowsy.
I won't quit my day job, as neither will Fonzie, as he's going straight onto Dienzio even. And Dienzio will fall. Sick. This spin is just not going anywhere. Huge active camo. Maybe they find a kill. No, they won't. Aloha just missing the prime target. Good body blocking from Flash X, and that's another 2 kills going TSM's way.
One weakness of a Crystal Kestrel is that because you're not building into the weapon, if you get ticked by anything in a team fight, that will reset the cooldown of your active camo. With a weapon, you can get it down pretty low, and you can use it very survival to survive. But Vauncey is not giving Aloha that option. As soon as Vauncey gets on Aloha, there is nothing left in the bank. It's all you got to stand your ground, and that hasn't worked out for him either. 0 kills to the immortal name.
Absolutely, it's an insane game from TSM. Absolute domination from TSM. 11,000 gold, a 6-0, and right now they're just booting up. They're just ready to find one more team fight and then just take the whole base from Immortals, and I don't put it past them doing it in one swift motion. Look at them just farming up here. Best Chuck here has 900. He's going to purchase up an infused. And he's going to be double infused as well. Yeah, and look, Immortals, they're pushed up the lane here. They want to try and get a turret, but it's so risky. It's going to be Flash X straight on in. He silences them all up. No one's going anywhere. And now Best Chuck gets into the fight. That's one for Best Chuck. Looking for Thanes as well. Aloha just stealth, but he can't escape the resonance. A double and a triple kill for this Best Chuck and a double monocles. Breaking point. And this guy is a monster. 6-0-3, and now it's time for base clearing.
Just, you're asking for it. That far ahead, you got no turrets in lane at all. There's no other answer from TSM other than just come right behind him and sandwich him between the turrets. That's another immense gold payout, but Chuck don't care. He's taking turrets, and that was the power of double crits right there. He basically 5-shot it.
Insane. 13 and 45 seconds, and there's just one Brain Crystal turret that blocks TSM.
Oh, goodbye, Finn.
No, Vanes, he walks too far forward and he loses his life. Diencio, the next target of Vauncey. This is it. TSM are looking to finish this game off and take their series 2-0 over Immortals in such dominating fashion. An Ion Cannon, but Diencio, he gets blown up by Vauncey, by Best Chuck and that will just be it. TSM with a 14-minute victory secure the series win over Immortals. They're heading to day 2.
Aloha is just sitting there in his base, perma invis. He's like, nope, done. Him. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. TSM will take a 2-0. Flawless victory out the bat. They had the cash advantage. They then able to snowball. 4-minute rotation. Best Chuck to pick up his first offensive. Vauncey with the Storm Crown, and he never let up. He took every jungle he could. He took every kill he could. And there is an 11-kill participation on Best Chuck out of all 11 kills. You can't get any better than this.
You can see it on his screen. Not only does he have 100% kill participation, he has just under 60 gold less than the entirety of Immortals. 4,900 plus 330 plus 325. It adds up to be just 60 gold more than what Best Chuck had all by himself. Insane stuff from TSM. I can't believe the domination we just witnessed there. Gonna need the desk to break it down and close us out.